I really appreciate it.
I heard Chad describe his life, his romantic life, as North, which is not ideal. If you had to describe your romantic life, what team would you choose? Actually, hold the thought, because Caribbean Yugi, 2 nice headshots in middle. Oh, that's beautiful, as Yugi backs away as well.
It's so quick. Well, listen, I'll come up with a good answer for that while we wait here. AZ incredibly quickly going to be taking down Kerrigan. There's no intro to this, ladies and gentlemen. We're just right into the action. Frozen alone in the middle in a 1 versus 5. Not that far from I Love Life, what Jason right there.
There it is. He's brought it all back.
How are you doing? I feel like we got into this very, very quickly.
I'm doing all right. I don't feel jet lagged. The only time I feel jet lagged is when I look in the mirror and I just say, "Oh God, you look jet lagged." Yeah, I must be jet lagged and just not feeling it at this point.
Oh, well, that's good news. I appreciate that.
How are you doing? You doing good?
I feel well, this is a very easy flight for me to get to Turkey to begin with, so I don't know. I feel quite good about all of it. I need to check out everything, but yeah, ultimately it's been a good ride so far. Some deagles coming out on the mousesports side, and a lot of grenades landing on top of them, which is I don't know, it's hard to deal with, isn't it?
It's true to Danish Counter-Strike, just landing grenades at your feet. Well done from North to start things out. These two teams, I mean, Des talked obviously at length about these two teams. I don't know if I'd feel like I'm like kind of excited about either one. I'm very lukewarm about both of these teams at the moment. I don't know how you feel about them, but I feel like, I mean, North has been like the perennial not living up to expectations, and then mousesports, I feel like this lineup isn't quite clicking the way that we'd like it to.
I feel like North have almost come full circle and they're not living up to expectations. Like now you are actually excited if something does work out well. You're like, oh, actually, here's North, doing something great.
They're like the new French team where you're like, maybe this is the one.
It does feel that way for some odd reason, but I don't know. I think they've got some cool stuff in there. I mean, I think Gate has actually been outliving, also like outperforming my expectations. I think he's doing better than I was thinking he would in the beginning. So that's kind of good news. And then for all the rest of them, I don't know. It's a hard puzzle, I feel like, right now to make work. Mousesports, on the other hand, I've got a lot of patience for Kerrigan and his experiments with this or really any other team. So I'm kind of willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for a really, really long time before I pull the plug on it.
Yeah, you feel like he's earned it at this point, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel that same way, but I think I'm hitting that point a little bit earlier than you.
Of saying, hold on.
Yeah. This mousesports roster kind of scares me. Like, there's so many good players, but the fact that they haven't developed the same way that we expected them to, really worries me a bit.
Well, we're going to find out if this tournament is going to be different for them. And North obviously off to a pretty good start here, and it's going to be another save round out of mousesports. They didn't really get anything done in that last round, which, I mean, that's fine maybe. It's always nice if you can get just a bit of damage in, take a couple of guns away or anything like that, and there's going to be a lot of peaks happening in the middle. Nice enough shot from Cajun. I still think must be one of the most frustrating players, Cajun, in terms of you feel like what could be, or that it could be sort of like a much higher ceiling, but then, and sometimes you get a feeling for it, but then it goes away again, and you don't know why, and nobody else does either. Yeah,
I think it's hard for me to, and I feel bad saying this to you if you just went on that, but I feel bad. I don't think I can agree with that statement when he's on a team with AZ and Kirby.
Oh yeah, you feel like he's not. Well, I'm
like
not even saying
if I'm going to just drive a player on North like that, I think there's a couple other places I'd stop before I got to Cajun.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him as the star player, right? I
know what you mean.
I just feel like he's a guy who can make smart decisions, and there just aren't that many of those people around. So.
And he had that really cool nickname that he made for himself back in the day, the Cleaner.
The Cleaner, yeah. Yeah. That's like a 90s action movie, isn't it? Well, here we go. Early trade. Kirby for Chris J. And North finally up against Rifles. They've got Woxigon, that AWP, and a couple of Kriegs on Robs and Frozen. And they are starting to fall back from that B-bomb side. So should be in a position actually right now, especially with the rotation that North is happening or is doing defensively. Should be a really good round out of mousesports here.
Well, we'll see. There is still, just as you mentioned earlier, Gade, the sole defender. See if he can step up and hold this off at least for some time. There's still a chance for them to rotate into the right position, and in fact, they're just starting to North. AZ's coming over towards CT spawn. Gade is going to see the shoulder, gets that first kill, and a great follow-up damage onto Frozen. And now this bomb site feels like it's much, much easier to hold, and that nade maybe just a second too early from blowing Frozen right off the map.
It's going to be hard to deal with now. A 3-on-3 with about 40 seconds left. They are coming out of the smoke now. AZ, he can see them. Easy kill, and what a follow-up. He just clicked Woxic right out of that fight, and Kerrigan's got no chance. That's a quad kill for AZ, and a perfect way to get started.
That is a gorgeous sequence from AZ. Very, very clean shots and high fives all around, and what a start for North here on Mirage to open up this series. That is, I mean, they read that just about perfectly, getting players in the right position. They felt quiet on the map, rotate some guys over. AZ gets here just in the right moment, and right over the top of the smoke.
Slightly delayed Cajun beat there.
I was gonna say he didn't move a muscle. He just sat there and froze in amazement.
So excited about what's happening. But yeah, I think ultimately that kind of round out of North. What did they say? Not even double digits, right? And so far it's 4-0. So things are looking really smooth at the moment.
Yes, Jacob did say 16-5, and North is about to be on 5.
So looking to prove him dead wrong, I think is the way we say it.
How do you feel about the Krieg these days? There's been a lot of conversations amongst the pros on social medias.
I still think the Krieg is really, really good. I just don't know. There were some people who said maybe we should take the scope away from it. I noticed that was a thing.
Is that the whole point of the gun? Doesn't it just turn into an AK-47 at that point?
Yeah, with better accuracy, better first bullet accuracy or something like that. I don't know. I think it is starting to prove maybe just slightly too good. But I'm not completely panicked about it. But I think it has like overshot the mark a little bit for how effective it is.
Yeah,
so
it does need a little tweaking to make it more reasonable.
just a tiny bit, right? But I'm not so angry. Not as it's unfortunate.
It's only been a matter of time for Christian Frozen stuck in connector utility, holding them back, and only AZ falls for North 5-0. Great start from the Danes, and they look very calm and collected.
Well, they should be at the moment, right? mousesports, on the other hand, I mean, I think that one of the points they were having, it was mostly about the first map, right? It wasn't necessarily about the whole series. That North usually are not going to be the kings of this map. So, yeah, this kind of a start is going to be feeling pretty good for them. I think especially because they're playing the CT side, which is where we've seen some of their struggles in the past. So, I don't know, this is kind of encouraging. A lot of smokes towards the middle, and a chance for mousesports to do something here. Frozen, that is such a fast position to take. He's already wrapped around the corner. He nearly ran into the grenade, but yeah, Cajun had no idea that someone was even going to be there. What a brilliant run.
Yeah, he didn't even consider it, and they should have. If you look at the minimap, 3 smokes all lining up catwalk. There should have been someone saying the possibility was there. That communication should have been a red flag. Now the question, mousesports, is what do they do with it? And you can see the lean from this North defense. They feel like if you're going to get up catwalk that fast, if you're going to use that much utility in middle, certainly a B split is on the cards. And they're not wrong for the moment. Pop flash in so Caribbean can get a new angle deep into the B tunnels. But if they rotate away from this, and he might have just spotted the information in time, but he can't find any kills. AZ still here, only able to get the 1. And this stack at the B bomb site for North not panning out, but a good read on the side of the defense.
Yeah, it really was. Gade is still trying to do some work, and he's only going to get the 1 kill. I do wonder about that, though, because between AZ and Kirby, I'm pretty sure AZ had a smoke. I don't know why Kirby wanted to go for the re-peek into that hallway. I think he could have just had AZ smoke him off, and then he could have at least got out, but I feel like he sort of committed to that fight way more than he needed to, probably.
Yeah,
now Yugi's in trouble.
You have to wonder if maybe he felt some pressure of having the information just so he knows if there was an over-rotation or if they could keep the manpower there.
Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised Yugi's going for this. Good first shot. Gonna lose the A to BP. First round on the board for mousesports.
He was pretty boxed in, wasn't he? So I guess he was just like, you know what? I'm never going to get out of this one, so let's just do it. Oh, we've got a beach here on the map. Didn't even know that.
Certainly, no. I think this is just made up. I think that's just.
I thought it was.
That's just
like
shout out
outside.
to Starladder. I think that's a whole theme of being at a beach resort here in Turkey.
I like that. Have we ever been on one of those boats? Can we rent one and go?
We probably could. They have an archery course here. We can go shoot bow and arrows after this if you want.
I absolutely want to do that. I have a feeling I'd be good at it. We'll bring a camera and find out.
Well, the first time you shot a gun was a bit freakishly.
I do have a
powerful.
natural talent for that for some reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll maybe we can get some video of that at some point. Figure it out.
Very passive default from mousesports. Just very, very far back at mid. You have Frozen looking for those pushes. You have Kerrigan actually pretty close up an underpass trying to gather some information, and he's the most advanced player. Smoke in towards window for him. But still far back on the map is mousesports. Chris J now joining up to take over mid. And they're at least going to have access there, and we'll see what they can do with it.
Most of the money is all gone in this round for North, so they kind of do need to win it. mousesports don't have a lot either, so everyone's a bit poor right now.
Yeah, had a very strong lead. At 5-1, still have it. We'll see if they can hang on to that lead. And ooh, that's a good fight from Kerrigan. Perfect pop flash from Woxic as well. And there's no more defenders at the B bomb site. North is going to have to save this. If mousesports does end up continuing into the B bomb site, North has no chance of fighting back into this round.
They're being very careful about it, but it's pretty much all locked down. In some senses, if your economy is going to be in the position that North is in right now, it's almost better to just lose one player and then say, okay, we're going to save it. You know, we're already up 5-1. Let's just save what we have and don't throw anything away. Smoke might be even more fortunate than they realize, because if Chris is in a position to start to take guns away, that's a different matter altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's starting to hear the footsteps. mousesports not going to chase that down. Maybe Chris J goes for a little bit right at the end. That's a pretty cool play from mousesports. It felt like a lot of that was lined up to show that they were going to attack towards the A bomb site. The smoke and connector maybe to get someone in position. Instead, Kerrigan uses it to get up catwalk. That's a very well done strategy for mousesports, and they've got their second on the board, and that lead is being chipped away.
Slowly now, yeah, but we'll see. Would be fun if they could start to bring it back early on here. They've got everything that they need for it at the moment. No kills on Rops so far, but otherwise I think they're in pretty much a perfect position to mount some sort of a comeback. All they need is to take the guns away, and then they're rolling.
It's going to be, I feel like that's a little bit of a tougher task against a team like North than most squads. North, I think, more than most teams, and this is just kind of in my head. I don't really have any statistics to back it up as per usual, but they are one of those teams that feels like they like to kind of gamble in these rounds and save. They'll just go stack a bomb site. They'll give up the map and just say we're just going to save these weapons and play the economy game. Sometimes it can be tricky removing all the money from their pockets. Chris J going to lead the way around the smoke, peering in towards the B bomb site. Caribbean Cajun with a decent crossfire setup. But Cajun can go down very quickly. He's got to be careful. And again, he's caught unawares. No idea he's exposed. And Chris J is able to get into advanced position so quietly. Caribbean even blind. He's going to manage to find the first, but can't follow up.
That could have been so awkward. If that flash had worn off a little bit earlier, maybe Kirby could have actually readjusted the aim a little bit. Woxic does go down. Heads up play from Gade as most of the action is happening over at the B bomb site. He could have easily been distracted. Now Yugi hoping that somebody just misstepped there. Frozen goes down in the middle. Still Robson Kerrigan not in such a bad position. That Molotov does cut them off a little bit, and there's a smoke there on the kitchen side just to make sure that no one can make their way through. Rops immediately done, and now it's on Kerrigan. 1 versus 3 against his countrymen. Going to be long-range fight, and Gade just on fire in this round. 3 kills for him, and very, very quickly, he just saved them.
And that's really good recovery in a round where you lose Cajun towards that B bomb site very, very quickly. And I think we've got to highlight that's 2 rounds now that we've had in these first 7, or first 8, excuse me. We've noticed a little probably miscommunication of Cajun coming into this team and being the new player. First, that play on catwalk, very fast pace getting up there, and he was picked off. This one as well, overexposed inside the bomb site. But that's what you have teammates for. Cover for your mistakes.
Make excuses.
Yeah.
Someone to blame when things don't work out well.
I think he yelled at Kirby. He was like, why aren't you watching that?
Those players are the worst, aren't they? No, I feel like at this level, hopefully, that's something that's been beat out of them by, coaches and everything else. Hopefully that isn't something that we see all that much. I don't know. I think both these lineups are just, they've got so much potential, but you feel like it isn't being unlocked to the degree that you want to. And when it's like when you have potential, but it isn't actually realized for a long time, then you get this weird feeling like, oh. But
you do get a bit depressed.
Yeah. There's something about that makes everyone feel a bit weird. Yugi going to be challenging that in the middle for a second. Didn't want to risk the Molotov. I think he's one of those AWPers that had a lot of conversation around him. I still don't think that conversation's actually done, but he's hit like some sort of plateau for a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna get back to a higher level even, because I think he's a very exciting player. But
Robs is gonna spot the elbow, cannot find the kill wrapping around the corner, and Gade's gonna get aggressive. Actually, frozen in middle, might be able to hear those footsteps, but he's not going to know how far. And if Gade continues on this path, the bomb is very far back in mid. If he turns that corner before anyone from mousesports picks it up, that is going to be a huge benefit to this defense.
He's going to find the bomb on that corner if he keeps going. This is wild. This almost looks like Gade just had, like he had a map of what's going on the mousesports side. Like maybe he's been watching some demos and just knows how this might play out. Chris has got no chance at all. And well, yeah, they lose Frozen on the other side, but regardless, they would have to come back and try and fight Gade with 50 seconds left. That's just going to be, it's going to be taken forever, isn't it? Even if they kill him now, it still should not be in time for them to do much of anything. And now he's even hiding in that little doorway. They know that he's in there, but they're spending all of their time in this round just trying to find him, and they finally will. But again, there should be no way.
There should be. They can still do it, but it's going to be very difficult. With the time running out, they cannot slow the pace down. They must just go for it. They cannot clear all the corners. They're going to be caught in a very vicious crossfire. There's the Krieg from Cajun on catwalk. It even walks it, can't get around the corner in time. And a 7th round on defense for North. I think you're exactly right. I think the way that Gade played that after that kill, he was pretty convinced no one was going to be there. That had to have been some research. Someone looked into it. Maybe the coach told him before the game, if you ever find Rops here all on his own, no one to trade that kill, just push.
Yeah, it's like...
Which isn't uncommon for teams set up on their T side.
No, it's really not, right? And like they've already had some information in the middle. They knew there was some smoke, so it's like a pattern where he's just like, I know what this is, and he just made that decision instantly. So good job on him. Not always easy to do. I mean, if you're wrong about that, it does feel really weird. But
it does feel awful. Speaking of feeling awful, these A defenders going to be under a lot of pressure. A lot of flashbangs and smokes just came out. Unfortunately, I think one from AZ catches Kerrigan. He could see absolutely nothing, and Gade just going to try and survive inside the smoke, but his teammates are falling. That's a great kill.
Not easy at all. He was almost getting wall banged as well. Rops will get one, but Gade is still playing here. A triple and then a quad, taking down Woxic. That is beautiful. He is really playing out of his mind at the moment. What
a freak. That is a significant hold onto the A bomb site. What a possible turning point for mousesports to be able to make that hit work. And all of Gade's teammates had gone down. That was 2 kills, his 2 supporting defenders. He had to get that kill to allow players to come through the smoke and be effective.
That's 12-3 for him right now.
It was Gade all along.
It was. He's, I don't know. I don't think he's been the topic of like, conversation for so because there's so many players in Denmark that are at a high level that it's kind of, it's hard to outshine the rest, but.
Well, we can hold the thought until after this round. I have something that potentially could be cool to say about that. Kerrigan is going to get forced away by the smoke. Okay, now we can say it. Because Gade did spend some time, remember, in that Optic lineup that actually played in NA Pro League. So I got to see him a little bit, and that was kind of his, I guess, his first big appearance on the professional stage. And I know from, I mean, just watching him at the time, you could tell it was a little rough around the edges, but you could tell like the decisions were good. It was some of the skill that I think needed to catch up. And if you talk to some of the Danish players, I think they all mentioned around that time that he was just one of those players who was going to need time to develop. And when he did, he could be a very effective player on a team. And I think maybe now we're just starting to come to realize that. We're starting to see the results.
Yeah, which is good news, right? Because they're, whenever you get that feeling where you're like, well, they need just a little bit of polish and then maybe they're good to go, you never know if that's actually going to happen. I like this from Kerrigan, though. I don't know how he's been allowed to get this deep in on the map. Kiebu's kind of watching for it, but the timing is everything. Kerrigan finding the opening, and now Kiebu alone in the back here. He needs back up quickly, but it's not going to happen. Woxic will take him down right through the wall instead, and this is mousesports getting away with so much right here. Rob's going to be finding AZ as well, and now it's a 2-on-4, and this is an absolutely stolen round. Kerrigan just actually walking into the whole place, stealing all the jewelry.
And getting out.
Yeah.
Fair play. That's a couple rounds now where mousesports has been able to get pretty much free reign of middle with no real contest, which is interesting. If I'm Kerrigan on mousesports, I'm calling like everything is towards the B bomb site from here on out. I think you've caught a couple times where you have mid control for free. You've caught a couple times where there's been some miscommunication between that Caribbean and Cajun at that bomb site. And I think you just lean on that. You say maybe that's a weakness that we've been able to exploit for these 3 rounds. Yeah. Let's just go back to it and see how many we can claw away right at the end.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable idea. I think they obviously wanted to go for that bomb site at the beginning, but the grenades kind of made them second guess it. That's so good.
Yeah, we didn't see it from that POV first time around. That's pretty nasty.
8-3, so battle is not over.
They've taken the money away. North out of cash after this buy, so again they must either choose to save weapons early on or just straight up win the round. And AZ's going to make the jump over to Catwalk, and he's just going to spam through. Doesn't find any clean fights though, and going to back away with the nades.
Yeah, you like the attempt anyway. I mean, if he could have caught them running up long again, that would have been a nice opening, a good read. Kerrigan having a bit of a conversation there in T-spawn. They've got the double setup over at ramp, so that could be huge. Obviously, if you turn that corner, you're gonna be spotting, well, you're gonna run into the AWP, and then there's gonna be the rifle up close in front. So that can be hard to deal with.
This almost feels like a fake to me, and actually now it's turning into more of a split. You can see Frozen and Chris J coming up through the underpass. So yeah, they want to hit connector. They've got players ready, but this setup is perfect for North. This aggression on A ramp, because even behind you, you have Cage and B watching for that connector attack. You're going to have AZ there as well as they shift positions.
Oh, look at that smoke. It actually goes in behind them, so they're not going to stop. There's the shadow showing. Bomb is down. Yugi to get that kill. They were even looking for it. Kerrigan knew that could happen, but it doesn't even matter. Yuki picking up a second kill, and that absolutely shuts it down. I think you read it perfectly. Even if they were going to have a little bit of trouble at that ramp fight, the fact that there were two people there towards jungle or connector was always going to make that tricky. And mousesports, they're really running into a lot of trouble here. 3-9. I mean, they've got some money to work with. I think that's the most positive thing we could say. And Woxic it was obviously trying to shoulder peek or trying to bait out that shot. And Yugi was holding his nerve. Tactical timeout being called here for mousesports.
Yeah, they need it. They need at least a couple of these last 3 rounds of the half. They've been shut down towards that A bomb site. Again, it feels like mid and the B bomb site has been where they've had all their success. Up Catwalk, they've had a lot of room to work with. Go back to that. Kerrigan's had a couple nice entries coming up Catwalk with the Krieg. But this round, he's only got a Glock for the moment. There is an AK on the ground. 3-9 as the timeout comes to an end.
Not what anybody was expecting, was it, coming into this game? That's very bold from Yugi. Taking the peak with, I mean, I guess he was trying to elevate it. That is ridiculous. He just traced him mid-air with the spray. I'm actually kind of shocked that worked.
That was really cool. Follow-up nade as well does massive damage onto Kerrigan. mousesports down 6 rounds and down a player in this round 13. Oh, look at the aggression as well. They're taking so many liberties, even if they're giving up mid. This is actually almost, it feels like a very Danish way to play this map. Giving up mid and just containing them in this part. They've been punished by it a couple times, but overall this seems to be working in this round. And again, if Caribou kept pushing, he'd find that bomb very far back.
Yeah, you're right. He could have even done that, but you still have to imagine his position is going to be so powerful. He's just walking the whole way. They're going to go back and check for the bomb now, but the problem is if he gets a kill here as well, it's so hard for mousesports to call anything behind that. Like you don't know where anybody is at that point in time. Chris does spot out AZ. Still going to be going down. Second kill. I've got to say as well, that first kill for AZ, I really want to see a replay of that, like in slow motion, because that is unbelievably cool.
What's really tough about this round for mousesports is everyone was in a pretty nice position, and they all had to just pause and wait for Woxic to run back and get the bomb. And that is just, you're so exposed in some of these advanced positionings. Now back towards the A bomb site. Kerrigan, some kind of a distraction towards B. Yugi is going to be able to hear this, but the real hit is going on at the A bomb site, coming up the ramp. It's going to be Ropson in the way, and Kerrigan walking around, finds 1 kill, but that's not going to shift the defense, not with 13 seconds. They hear the footsteps, they've heard the flashbang, and it should just be a slaughter. Gade with a double kill, and that's the ball game. Kerrigan falls at the end as well, and double digits for North.
If they had more time then, it's such a brilliant play from Kerrigan again. I mean, he could have made that work, but you're right. As soon as they hear the footsteps over there, they're not going to be moving.
I think it would have even worked, but there was a flashbang thrown at A ramp.
Yeah, that makes
5 seconds before they moved up. So that defense is like, they're on edge.
Yeah, it's not going to make a big difference, is it? 10-3 with Gade leading the charge at 16-3 and AC at 13 kills as well. Having themselves a very, very good game early on here, day 1 at Starladder. 14th round coming up, and it's going to be a quick one, trying to run up the connector. Yugi already sniping away at Woxic, and he's set up here in the ticket booth, looking to collect a little bit more.
Again, it just feels so weird. Gade is going to be close up, and he finds that kill. There's no one there to trade that. Kerrigan's in such an advanced position. This almost feels like mousesports is really trying to do some crazy things because they're down so much, but just that hit just feels so disconnected when Kerrigan's already in jungle. No one's up a ramp to help him. And now just Chris J. 1 versus 4, has to walk through a smoke. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's all they got.
Where are you going to go from there?
Well, I feel there's another thing, which is when you go for... I like the idea of a really quick connector push, but you got one guy sniped away, you know, as soon as you turn the corner, and then Kerrigan had to slow it down to wait for the A. I feel like as soon as you... either you're slowed down because somebody dies, or you're slowed down because you're scared of the AWP, but either way, that kind of a push needs to keep going, right? Like, it has to just follow through. As soon as you put the brakes on, it's like, yeah, now they have all the time in the world to adjust, and it's going to be trouble. 15th round. This time they have to slow it down because of the Molotov. They're going to be running through that smoke, a huge gap in it as well, so no fear at all. And now they're looking for Gade. He's been a problem every single time they've shown up, and he is again a beautiful double kill there. Could have been a triple, nearly taking down Kerrigan as well. AZ going to be able to close this one out, no problem. Frozen in a 1 versus 4, and that's 12-3 in the first half. For North.
What a heroic round from AZ. He got 2 flash assists, bouncing it out to help Gade, and then he gets the other 3 kills. That is beautiful stuff. Either way, we're going to head to a break, and when we come back, we'll get the second half underway.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are off to a blazing hot start here in Turkey. It's North versus mousesports, and everybody, the analysts, the panel, were all thinking this is going to be, especially the first map, easy for mousesports. Surely they're going to be taking it right away, and it's turned out the very opposite. Instead, it's a 12-3 first half in favor of North, and mousesports have been left wondering just what's going on.
Yeah, and it's worrying. I know, you know, Sean Duncan and I had a conversation at the most recent Counterpoints episode about how some of the faith in mousesports has been shaken. Like, this is a team that just has not been performing as much or progressing the way we'd like, and this is just like another piece of evidence to kind of support that, where you're just like, what's happening here? Like, even Pimp, whose opinion where he says, you know, North is not a great Mirage team, like, you know, I agree, but, you know, here against, they're making mousesports look silly. That's a worrying sign.
Yeah, it is. Especially because if you just list the qualities that they have on this team, it's not immediately obvious to me why they wouldn't be much better. Like, they've got the experience with Chris and with Kerrigan on that team. They've got some tactical leadership. They've got a great amount of firepower.
Also, it gets worse. This is the mousesports pick.
Whew. Well, yeah. Something's got to change, and it's got to be right now. Kerrigan is set up for a flashbang in case anyone's going to be showing up for that peak. Frozen, a little bit forward push there, and he's fallen all the way back. I didn't want to stick around for the fight either. Can't really blame him on that one. This pistol round has to go the way of mousesports, and it's looking very good. Frozen, very tempered play in that corner, just biding his time. Nice shot from Gade, but that will be all they get in the round. So good read out of mousesports, and if there is any comeback in them, then now is the time.
That was actually really sick setup for mousesports. I mean, the flashbang is nothing too crazy, but the fact that all 5 players on the defense were at that B-bomb site so quickly. There were just so many bodies there that North didn't even have the time to check and clear out Van. Look at how many people are here on the minimap. 4 of them right when the actual first contact is made. That is well done from mousesports. So a 4th round, but still a long way to go. I don't know if that's frustration or excitement. Maybe both?
Yeah, it's a thin line, isn't it? You know, just I don't know. I think it was a bit of both. I'm gonna read that as Chris just being like getting fired up, basically saying, "Let's go, let's go do this." Rob's just raining men down in front of him. Yugi gonna be going down. There will be a bomb plant here, so mission accomplished for North. They're gonna be happy about that. Kirby not even going for the burst fire. For shame.
Shame. Shame that man.
Well, this is. I mean, this could definitely be turned around if you're on the mouseport side. North, though, when you've got this many rounds to play with, you know, do you want to throw in some crazy rounds early on just to try and see if you can lock it out?
No, they don't strike me as that kind of team, especially when you just had like a leadership vacuum.
Yeah.
Like maybe not go with the crazy route.
Well, you can read it both ways, right? You could say, well, we've got so many rounds that we can easily afford to do our defaults and see if that works early on. We don't have to go crazy right off the bat.
Yeah.
Or you could say, yeah, but we've got some rounds. We've got a buffer. You know, let's just have a couple of them just to see maybe a really quick sort of you know, B split or something like that.
Ooh, does Kirby want to step in front of that? He's got the cover of the Molotov. He knows nobody can push. Oh, he steps in front of that as well. This is bold. I like it. Chris J for a peek. A lot of big utility dump, and none of that is going to bother Kirby. That is a stellar play from him. A little bit risky, but obviously pays off here to start round 18.
Yeah, and you could be a little bit annoyed if you're Chris at that point in time, because all those grenades, you're thinking, surely if anyone is dead, they're already going to be softened up a little bit, but probably they won't even be that far up. So bold move out of Kirby, and it works out beautifully. Woxic now going to go investigate, and they're going to find anyone. Sort of doing a mirror of what Gade was doing in that first half. He might just, I think, unfortunately, be way off on the timing.
And you can see how vocal Woxic was as he made this push down the ramp, and that's why you see Rops cheating over through CT spawn. He's going to cover window for the moment, but he's getting over towards this B bomb site.
Wow.
In support. mousesports have a great read, all thanks to Woxic.
Yeah, and they've really slowed it down on North as well. This could be beautiful. That early Molotov there, even buying more time for them. Now, got to be a little bit careful here. Frozen, slightly trapped in the corner, but he's doing a lot of damage there. Getting the kill on Yugi, that's big. And now AZ coming in with a kill. Cajun to open it up now. A 1 versus 3, and this very late look. He needed somebody else to stay alive down in that bomb site for this to make sense. Otherwise now, as soon as he gets a shot off, surely they're going to know where he is. He's got a couple of flashbangs, but still, this is nearly impossible. There's the kill. He needs the follow-up. Yeah, he had to take that peek right away, or he was always going to be in trouble. Jumping down on the low ground, and Cajun will get him at the end. So that's a close round, and I think, especially because of how that started off, that could have been it could have been a way worse round in some sense for mousesports, but they just weren't able to do it.
You got to feel for Woxic there. He made all the right plays to get his team in the perfect position. He did so much to have mousesports in a position to continue this comeback, and now look at the buy. What a desperate situation it is. Double op setup, 1 on Chris J, but he's missing a lot of utility. Actually, everyone is. Everyone except for Frozen. Woxic's got his op, but that's it. No armor, no utility behind it. 3 players over at the A bomb site. This is going to be fast-paced for North. Ooh, up towards connector. I don't think they're going to commit, though. The bomb is still very far back, but that is a very aggressive take of middle. They have so much control. AZ not able to win out on that fight.
But that's the kind of stuff that they almost have to do, right? In mousesports, when you don't have many grenades or really anything to work with, you need some early fights just to have it even make sense. Carrigan getting the first one. Woxic, I think Chris probably going to be the ones to get the follow-ups.
I think the saving grace of not having utility is the fact that they have these 2 AWPs. They can just post them up and take some long-range shots. We'll see if they can thin the herd before the defense really has to get switched in. Chris J definitely spotted that.
Yeah, he knows, which is fine as long as Rops is going to be staying alive over at the A ramp. But if he doesn't, flashbang once, then he has to move out. Ooh, actually, Gade goes first. I'm not really sure about that. I feel like probably that ramp push should have been the first one to turn the corner. Rops going down, and Chris walks into the shot. Now Frozen has to make this work. 40 seconds on the clock, and he's going to drop the bomb, and I think that's all he needed to do right there. Yugi now 1 versus 3. And maybe he could do some damage, but winning the round should be out of the question here, as long as they don't give him a lot of individual fights. And they're staying very put at the moment. They don't want to lose anything here, and they won't. That's a close call, I would say.
A very close call. I think you had it as well, Gade. If he's able to just kind of lurk and connect, that might be more effective. But you never know if maybe Chris J's attention is going to be over towards A ramp. You never know how that might change the hit. Either way, 13-6, still some room for North to play with. They've got some money. Going to keep things pretty clean and tight in that sense in this next round. But mousesports clawing back into it and still able to preserve the double op. And now you have some nades. You have Molotovs behind it. You have a kid on Voxic and Rops. Let's see what they've got. Massive nades in towards the window. Not going to do any damage, but Rops, he's not prepared. Again, very aggressive, very fast-paced in mid for North.
They went so far off the grenade timing there. Frozen almost ran into it. That would have been fun.
I'm very curious to see if that kind of take in mid that we've seen these past 2 rounds from North is going to continue into the gun rounds further, if that's a game plan thing.
I mean, as long as they're finding this level of success, maybe you do it.
Well, surely this is a double peak.
Yeah, it's got to be. First run in. Frozen not enjoying this game. Oh! That is a follow-up and a half. I was going to say he was not having a good time, and he brings it all back.
Fair play. That is some nasty tapping from Frozen. Even the third player chiming in, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
He's done now. The Moles, they've got the advantage.
They're bringing it back. Oh, man. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's still quite far away from them, right? Like, they only have to make one mistake on the mousesports side and things are going to end badly, but yeah, they can obviously make this work.
We've seen some teams struggle to take to overcome double op setups on the defense. Like we've seen some T sides really have an issue finding success against that. We'll see if North has it in them. Aggression from Chris J, missed the opportunity. That'll be a frustrating desk slam, I'm sure.
That's a hard fight to win again as well if you have the AWP, because you're only seeing the top of a head, and if you miss that shot, you're absolutely going to be dead.
Well, Woxic's got to be careful in window room. If he's still posted up, I don't think he's spotted. Actually, there goes the Molotov to maybe force him to the open right as the smoke's about to clear. Maybe a bit early. And Gade's gotten into safety.
Spread out, especially on the extremities, right? Karrigan is alone over on one side, Rob's on the other side. They've got some hold in middle, but Karrigan only has a smoke. If they don't respect it, if they just sort of go for it anyway, yeah, they're going to be running through. He's not even prepared to set it up either. A bit of a flashbang, just try and buy some time here, but he's going to have to do this on his own. Backup is going to be there at least a little bit. He's going to pick up that first kill on AZ. That M4A1, not a lot of bullets left in it, and he nearly could have had that one. I think he was a couple of pixels off, and now Gade running around the middle. He even gets the headshot on Robs, and surely that will close out the round here. Frozen. Almost no health left at all.
That is a nasty fake thrown by North. Smoke is used along the wall where the bench is at the A bomb site to prevent anyone at triple, any AWPer peeking from CT spawn to spot towards catwalk. I'm curious if Karrigan was getting pulled away or if that was just an improvised flashbang that he tried to use. Either way, North find an entrance into the B bomb site convincingly. 14th round going to be on the board, and mousesports is like just not able to close that gap. That double op felt like it was doable. The aggression gets punished, and again, mousesports, this defense can't recover.
Yeah, they get to save one of the AWPs, which is obviously not really going to be quite good enough here. I don't even mind. I kind of even like the idea of having the aggression. I mean, it's a bit unorthodox with the AWP pushing in, but there's some part of me that wants to see more of that firepower out of mousesports, because that should be one of their strengths, right? Like, it should be having people like Robson, Chris, and well, I mean, pretty much all of them, right? Should be able to step up and win some of those early fights and put North in their place. But I feel like we're not seeing that right now.
We're not seeing a comfortable mouse in any way. And I think that's the big issue. I think as a team, they don't seem there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of cohesion, and I think that's making a lot of the individuals perform, underneath what we normally see out of them.
Yeah, so maybe that's why you try and go for a play like that, sort of a fake it till you make it, then you're like, you know what, if we pretend that we're feeling really good about this and that we're just going to be pushing top mid and it's going to be all good, then maybe it'll work out that way. But
a little bit of attempt at building some momentum, or maybe it's just also, you know, we feel like this is so far gone. Let's just try and get ourselves back into the game, at least individually for map 2. Regardless, whatever the logic behind it was, it didn't pan out, which is unfortunate. Weapons dropped over. mousesports buying up everything they can. Still the double op setup. Woxic and Chris J with those. And Woxic again going to try and find something, but a smoke, and again very fast paced. And Woxic always burning. He's burning, and he's going to go down. Carby's got it all the way. 100-0. And through the smoke we go. He's not able to get the follow up, but Chris J is out of the fight.
yeah, he's in so much trouble. Anything landing on him, and he's going to be out of this one. 14-7. Another Molotov down in that corner, nearly taking care of Rops. Carrigan, though, is doing a pretty good job here, and actually they've somehow got a 4 versus 3, but Gade, he snuck all the way through. I don't even think they know. I think
Yeah, they certainly do. They have to. Chris saw that, 100%.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He caught it right at the end, but
All right.
maybe not? I have no idea. Sees that.
He definitely sees that, and he's still going to get the kill. Frozen. Oh, man. A minute left on the clock here, and a 2-on-3, and there's actually a room for them to make it into the A-bomb site. This is so confusing.
And Rops has cleared all the way down A ramp, so he knows, and even North has decided not to go to the A-bomb site.
I am real confused.
They must have never known Chris J rotated. Oh, wow, that is very fast. But unfortunately, Yugi, again, the misread of coming to this B bomb site. He's got a flank coming in that's going to be very fast. Chris J is going to hold him pinned down in the bomb site, and Rops should be able to get a freebie. That is, there are not too many rounds like that are going to make you scratch your head in that fashion.
No, I mean, they obviously, because you could tell they kept going for that B bomb site, so they obviously had some early information that we just missed that made them think this is the play. But the amount of damage that was done early on, you know, it should have been a North round. It looked like it could have been.
Well, I think the big thing was they didn't know Chris J was rotating over to that B bomb site. So when Gade comes through market, remember he'd flanked the whole way and saw no one, and then he gets 1 kill on the B bomb site. They had to have thought there was just one sole defender there. Obviously, also never the intel that Rops pushed down a ramp for the massive flank. So mousesports keep the dream alive, as they say.
Yeah, barely. 14-8. Rops hiding in shadow. AZ jumping down. Chris there to try and back it up, and he's doing a fantastic job. Rops going to be picking up 2 kills, and yeah, that all gets shut down. That's the kind of Chris that we love to see, and I think he's been waiting for himself in this game. That was the first time that we've seen him really kick off and
have a whole sequence.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, well done. And if you're North, you're just hoping, you're praying to God that those AWPs do not catch fire. It's a nice defense, fast pace towards the A bomb site, gets shut down quickly, and North forced into a save. So mousesports knocking on double digits here. They can survive this round against the P250s and Deagles. There's no utility for the attacking side for the offense to utilize to get close, so it's going to have to be some kind of a stellar shot with the Deagle to provide some space for the P250s.
Yeah, but as you mentioned earlier, even just getting your individuals back in the game and starting to feel a little bit more alive, that in itself would be a good, I mean, obviously you want to win the map, but as a sort of secondary goal, maybe that could be all worth it. Frozen, similar position, and still able to handle himself quite nicely. Okay, now sneaking forward. Carrigan been handling himself very nicely with this M4A1. One of the few players left still using it. It's become a rarity.
Carrigan and Forrest.
Yeah, it's just...
Some would say similar styles of aiming. That was a joke. That needs to get sent back into the writing room.
I wasn't sure. I thought, you know what, maybe he's finally lost his mind. Maybe he's finally done it.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise anyone at this point.
You know what? I'm starting to get worried for North now.
Okay.
I'm starting to reach that level where it's like, you know, you did all the hard work, you set it all up. Now all you need to do is follow through.
Let's see.
But what if they don't?
And also throwing away a phenomenal performance from Gade, potentially. 25-12 on him so far, leading the way for North. But starting to slow down, it feels like, on this offensive, this attacking side. And it'll be utility damage onto Woxic. Look at Kirby again, aggressive, but he was ready. That smoke in hand, waiting for the tick from the Molotov. You've seen them aggressively take mid a couple times. This is very, very passive.
This is also, I think, where...
This is respected fields for the double op. And I think the number of times they saw Woxic with that push on A ramp, they found Rops eventually doing it in a previous round, saw Chris J push towards the top of mid, and I think they're looking for one of those kinds of plays from the defense.
Some timing and re-peek as well.
That was bold from Woxic as well.
It really was. That could have been the end of him. Now we're down under a minute. They've got that mid control a bit later in the round. They still have a fair few grenades to work with. Rob's over at that A-ramp forward position. That can be good in so many different ways, especially if he wins the first fight here.
Well, the shadow, if Cajun walks along that wall. Big trade from Yugi. Rob's still patiently waiting. Cajun and him in a stalemate. Oh, there's the lag. Not even the shadow is needed. Chris still waiting at the A bomb site with the op as well, but look at this position AZ's found himself in.
What could they do from here? The problem is the time that's left. There's only 20 seconds, so they kind of need to move quickly. That means they're going to run into Rops, and Carrigan is going to be there long range, taking the fight in the middle and dropping Yugi. And with 14 seconds left, it just doesn't even seem doable. A beautiful shot, but again, Rops is still in sandwich, just waiting this whole time. Oh, and he loses the fight with 6 seconds here. There is at least going to be a bomb plant now. He's locked in here. Woxic's got the AWP on the other side now, just running out of the open. Kirby, he definitely saw that, and he's going to get the headshot, the triple to close the round, and I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, no time whatsoever. Chris J certainly heard the footsteps in CT spawn, but I imagine likely just assumed it was going to be a teammate. Didn't think for a chance it'd be a flank from AZ. That is a timely kill. Kirby towards Catwalk as well, but this is the one right here. Rops is going to be really upset with himself. Even at the end, I don't think Kirby even knew Woxic was pushing up along that wall. That had to have been a teammate that was like, yeah, he's right behind that box.
Yeah, you saw him, but only you didn't. I agree. That is very confusing. Yeah, if we get a replay of Rops in that round, that's probably going to be just more than a desk slam, right?
Yeah, it'd be something else. Either way, don't have to feel too worried about North at this point. At least they've secured overtime on this first map. 15-10, 5 chances to close it out, and they've got the economy of mousesports in a really awkward scenario. A strong buy here, but everything they lose is just so valuable.
15-10. I mean, they can win 5 rounds in a row and bring this into overtime. That's absolutely doable, but we're still seeing some of those just errors and some of that frustration that's in the mousesports lineup right now. That can't be a feature of this round or any of the next ones either. Gade leading the charge with the MAC-10 running into the connector, and it's going to be very quick as Chris goes down. They did slow it down over on the connector side. They're just waiting for maybe a flashbang or something, surely. Oh, they're going to leave him there. That's such a smart play. They escorted him all the way in there, and they're saying, you just stay there.
Well, they've also simulated the same very fast mid-take they've done a number of times where they applied a lot of pressure up Catwalk, a lot of pressure on window room, and now they just back away with that opening kill. They're so happy with it, and Rops has to be careful. Surely he checks for this, and yeah, Gade's looking the wrong way at the wrong time. Even with that team flash, Rops does take it. AZ going to lead the way out the window. Frozen is waiting beneath, and now North, it feels like this is going to be tough to make it in.
You could see how all of that was being set up. Like every little part of that plan was all coming together. But when they find Gade, there's even like a second for those B players where they're thinking, what do we do now? You know, like, do we just go immediately, or what's the plan here? And even when they did go for it, it was sort of half-hearted, wasn't it? Like, we'll throw a flashbang and jump out the window, but there's nobody there to follow it. It's like it's all...
There was a nice flashbang from mousesports. I'll say that on the defense. That made that B hit very disjointed. It landed behind Frozen, so his teammates got blind and delayed. But again, look at this improvised flank late. Kirby tries to make it work. Thankfully, Rops is watching for it. Yugi with a chance. 1 versus 3. He's got 20 seconds to work with. Nice defense, though, inside this bomb site. That's Kerrigan, who's just not even risking the peek. Knows where this one player has to eventually drop in and try and get the plant down. It's not going to happen, but Yugi, that's smart. Take away as much as you can, even if you're going to lose. That kill is great. They're going to recover the AWP, but 3 players going down, the mousesports buy in this next round is not going to be pretty.
No, we're definitely doing some damage there. Did you notice that when he was still up on the high ground, up on the balcony there, he went for a little jump? He actually made noise jumping just on the spot. I'm wondering if he was trying to fake the sound of him jumping down. Yeah, just hoping that someone was going to go for a quick look there. Nobody did, but still, it's an interesting little detail.
mousesports gets a little breathing room with their economy up against just pistols. They have to have a clean win here. They need to eventually secure and get some of the Molotovs, some of the more of the smokes and nades behind their buys if they want to complete this comeback.
Cajun getting a lot of space to work with here. Oh, and what a beautiful shot to take down Robs. He's going to be so angry. Just allowed to walk all the way out. And now you're getting a little bit more worried. Frozen looking the wrong way, the wrong time, and he's going to get run down. This is a disaster. Woxic trying to bring it back in, looking for the kill, but they're just absolutely getting destroyed by the pistols. A 1 versus 4, and nothing like what mousesports were hoping for in this round. Some brilliant shots coming out of the Danish side, and that'll be 16-11 as North shock and upset mousesports and win their map pick here on Mirage.
That's the danger of the Deagles. That's why you see so many teams invest in those even when they don't have that much money, is that one shot from Cajun. Everything it provides after that, it's just a waterfall. Beautiful work from North. That is a very nice start to the event. Series isn't over. We have Nuke coming up next.
Yeah, it is, but that was picked by North, and I don't know, this is such a shocking way to get started. I wasn't expecting that at all.
But you like it. You do love to see it.
Yes.
I love seeing that out of North. Very well done from them. We are going to, I think we're going to be heading to a break very soon, but I think we're actually coming on camera right now, so we'll just chill.
We'll chill for a minute.
You have to answer the question about which Counter-Strike team is most like your, I was going to say sex life, but womanly life. Married life.
I would go for let's say like an older Navi, like slow to get started, like a slow sort of ramp up.
Okay.
Takes a while, but
a lot
then
of waiting around.
But then the last 20 seconds are just pure, like just absolute fire. So
on that note, we'll go to a break. See you soon.